We're here today at Swan Bay down in Queenscliff, a ramsar wetland which is really special to this area. We're here to learn about seagrass meadows and the role that they play in creating a beautiful ecosystem and all the different values that they have for us and for the animals that they support. Seagrass plays a really important role in nutrient cycling. So basically anything that's coming down the waterways into your bays and wetlands, seagrass and other aquatic plants will actually extract all of those nutrients for its growth. If there's too much nutrient coming into the system, it actually has the opposite effect and can actually be really detrimental to the health of the seagrass. That's probably one of the biggest impacts that we have. So any excess fertilisers or things that are going down the drain that actually don't belong in our natural waterways will end up here and have a really significant impact. One way we can have a closer look at our seagrass meadows is using something like an aquascope. It works very similarly to your mask, so going for a snorkel is a great way as well. If we pop the aquascope in the water, it actually magnifies what we can see underneath. And as you move slowly around, you'll observe all sorts of little creatures that live and thrive in healthy seagrass meadows. Some of the creatures you might find while you're actually discovering these seagrass meadows are things like pebble crabs, so little tiny crabs that look like a pebble. They play a really, really big role in taking out lots of the debris and the broken down seagrass, so lots of the stuff that you're seeing on your shoreline. We have little seahorses that camouflage themselves in the seagrass. We have banjo rays that scoot around looking for mollusks and things that are in between all of the seagrass. Seagrass meadows play a really vital role in our fishing industry as well. Lots of our juvenile fish are supported here. They grow up in the seagrass meadows. There's so much food and nutrients available. They thrive and grow here until they make their way out to the ocean. So let's take a closer look at the seagrass itself. This grass here is actually called eelgrass, and it's exactly like a flowering plant on land. It's very different to seaweed, and it actually has a similar root system to our normal grasses on land, which is a rhizome that sort of digs in and stabilises the sand. These roots play a really big role in trapping sediment and things that are coming in off our land. So through all the waterways coming down, it ends up in here and sort of starts to settle, and these roots will trap all of that sediment in the substrate. The seagrass that dies and ends up down almost like peat in the landscape and actually traps carbon. So as much as we love to go to the beach and appreciate the sandscapes that we see, the stuff that's actually coming up here on our shoreline and actually being trapped underneath the seagrass bed is drawing down all this carbon, and it's basically locking it in the system, just like a rainforest would, which is a really important ecosystem service for not only us, but for the whole planet. So the way you can help to protect these wetlands is to make sure that whatever's going down the drain is safe for our waterways. So things like putting slow-release fertiliser on your lawns, washing the car on the lawn instead of in your driveway on hard surfaces, because anything that's basically coming down our streets into our drains comes down the waterways and ends up here. If it ends up in these seagrass meadows, it basically can really deplete the health of our seagrass, and not only the seagrass then is impacted, but all of the things that actually live and rely on these particularly vulnerable species. So now that you've learnt a lot about what this seagrass meadow provides and the ways that you can help to protect it, I really encourage you to get out and look at seagrass through different eyes. You can join in a seagrass monitoring program, you can come out, do a snorkeling program or an aquascope program with your school, and just really appreciate that this is playing a really, really important role in our whole ecosystem, which is not just for the animals that live here, but also for us as well.